There is an ancient proverb.
The pupil is ready, the master will appear. It will take dedication, it will take time.
This is Desiree Duvernay welcoming you to Nelson Medicine. Today I'm going to teach you how to become a healer, not just a doctor.
If you want to become a doctor, we have to learn to treat the patient as well as the disease. That's why we have to dive into people.
For a while. The hospital will cover all of your bills. Any other questions?
The true story of a man who broke every rule.
Why am I such a threat to you, sir?
Because what you want is for us to get down there on the same level as our patients.
And proved that laughter
Donner, party of 50. Donner, party over here.
truly is the best medicine.
Close, loose.
Robin Williams,
You treat a disease, you win, you lose. You treat a person, I guarantee you'll win, no matter what the outcome.
Patch Adams,
I was kind of a nerd and I liked humor. I was a sissy boy, coward, and so I was beaten up and ostracized often. And I found that humor was a great antidote.
It was the movie Patch Adams that helped to change my life. There was a good friend of mine, John, from California, and he said, "It's a great movie, Patch Adams. It tells you to be compassionate, to use laughter, but make sure that they take their drugs." He said, John told me, he said, you could make a much better movie. You could make a movie about comedy and compassion and yet tell them they don't have to take their drugs. They could have a natural medicine choice. There are many drugless therapies that they use. Now here's the real Patch Adams dancing to get an idea of his real flair for healing, etc. But then I realized that we don't have to use these drugs. These drugs were all bastardizations of nature. They were synthetic, S-I-N, synthetic. They were denatured. They took the nature out. There's many reasons. And that there were drug-free choices of sound and sight and electrical vibration, vibrational medicine, and then natural medicine, homeopathy, herbology, mechanotherapy, many other things. So this is the movie that helped to shape me. It also brought me ideas of the 10 steps to become a healer, not just a doctor.
She was with Larwood Silver. There's a shotgun involved, and he turned the gun on himself. Jesus Christ, Patch, I'm sorry. I know she was a friend. If there's anything I can do.
That takes us to 10 lessons to be a healer that we all need to learn in order to become a healer, not just a doctor, but a healer. Humility, compassion, healthy lifestyle, healthy behavior, good behavior. Food is your best medicine, and a synthetic anything is an insult to your body. These are the first 4 of our 10 lessons we need to understand about compassion, lifestyle, not abusing the body. The body's a temple. Do not defile it. Number 5, natural medicine can heal, detox, and then use nutrition. Allopathy and crisis care are poor ways to do medicine. Stress reduction and reduced stressors is the key to medicine. Symptoms are not the enemy, they are our guide. We are beings of body, mind, spirit, social, environmental. We're complex beings of fractal nature. We need to learn compassion. Learn about natural medicine. And lesson 10, most important lesson, is eventually every patient and everyone dies. Our greatest lesson to learn are the pathway to become a healer.
I love you without knowing how, or when, or from where. So close that your hand on my chest is my hand. So close that when you close your eyes, you fall asleep.
Well, John told me I could make a better movie, and I went out and did it. I've made over 100 different movies to try to teach people how to become a healer and how to deal with
preview of coming attractions.
There's...
Death is not the opposite of life. It's part of life. You see, it's all part of the process that we need to come to grips with.
Death. To die. To expire. To pass on. To perish. To peg out. To push up daisies. To push up posies. To become extinct. Curtains. Deceased. Demised. Departed and defunct.
The body dies, but not the soul. The soul lives on. The soul's eternal. So death has to have a different concept. We have to recognize that there is a part of us that does not die.
Dead as a doornail. Dead as a herring. Dead as a mutton. Dead as nits. The last breath. Paying a debt to nature. The big sleep. God's way of saying, slow down.
Death is but a transition. It is not to be so incredibly feared. Yes, we need to respect it and fear it, but not so incredibly. But we also need to understand it's all part of the process.
To check out.
To shuffle off this mortal coil.
To head for the happy hunting ground.
To blink for an exceptionally long period of time.
To find oneself without breath.
Death is but a way of rebooting the soul. We kind of start things over with a fresh slate. We learn some things that we do remember, but most of it we forget, and we go on.
To be the incredible decaying man.
Worm buffet.
Kick the bucket.
By the farm.
Take the cab.
Cash in your chips.
And if we bury your ass up, we have a place to park my bike.
So the movie Patch Adams shaped me. I had heard from many people that, yes, I had the ability to go beyond and to be able to conquer the synthetic big pharma. Pharma comes from the word poison of the witch. And I learned about the butterfly effect. And our device was first referred to in Britain as the butterfly device. So now I opened a door for you to become a healer, not just a doctor.
You're going to work with us. There's 10 lessons about being a healer that I'm going to teach you. Number 1, humility. Modern medicine is too arrogant. You wake up a patient to give him a sleeping pill. It doesn't make sense. You try to jump into diagnoses and you don't even know. We have to bring humility back into medicine. We have to recognize we don't know. Our diagnosis is always our best guess. Your medicine is the foundation. We have to get to people's behavior. We got to start speaking to the fact, do they smoke? Do they drink? Are they under stress? Do they not exercise? Do they not drink water? The Latin word eductor is where we get doctor from. Doctor comes from the Latin word eductor. Eductor means teacher. Doctors should be teachers, and they should teach people how to live. We got to teach people how to have the right behaviors and teach them how to live. It's the foundation of modern medicine. The old style medicine of just treating symptoms doesn't work. Food is your best medicine. We got to start bringing people back to recognizing that some of the subtle effects of natural food can help prevent cholesterol, can help lower mood control, can reduce stress, that we can use food as medicine. You got to get people away from the meat and potatoes and high cholesterol, high salt foods. We got to move them into more natural, more healthy foods. Synthetic drugs cannot heal. And I spell synthetic S-I-N because I believe it's a sin. Synthetic drugs cannot heal. They are for emergency use only. We use them in our emergency ward, but only when we absolutely have to. Synthetic drugs cannot heal. They're only for emergency. Natural medicines can heal. We need to recognize that we can actually heal and cure diseases with natural medicines, where synthetic medicines are always an insult. Every time we use a synthetic drug or a synthetic anything, it is an insult to the human body. We have to stop insulting, because you cannot cure the body if you are insulting the body. Synthetic drugs always generate other type of diseases, other type of conflicts, other problems. So we want to recognize that natural medicines can heal.
What is he doing?
Crisis medicine is poor medicine. Prevention medicine is the primary care, where we try to prevent diseases. Next, the other type of medicine would be initial care, when you just start to get a disease or a disease pattern. When you just start to get that, that would be another type. Now what America and modern medicine have chosen, they've chosen the third type, which is crisis medicine, heroic medicine, to wrest the patient from the jaws of death. Just before the patient dies, to intervene, to try to save their life. And it's this thing that we believe is not medicine. That's emergency care. And modern medicine has developed all into emergency care. We want to get people back to prevention and to early intervention. Lesson number 7, stress reduction has to be a part of our medicine. If we are going to deal with our patients, we're going to have to deal with daily stress reduction. We're going to have to work that into their behaviors, work it into their lifestyle. Lesson number 8, symptoms guide us. Symptoms are not our enemy. Pain is not our enemy. We don't want to shoot the messenger and kill the pain. We want to find out what the pain is telling us. Well, social, environmental, body, mind, spirit. All of our patients are all of these things. We have to recognize that disease comes when there's a blockage of the natural flow. Not just in the body, not just in the mind, but also in the social connections, the environmental connections, the spiritual connections. That if there's blockage in any one of these areas, this will produce disease. Ease of flow is health. When we have a blockage of that ease of flow, we have disease. And that's what disease is. And we want to try to establish the healthy flow.
I've traveled the world and lectured to doctors all over the world who want to know more and more about natural medicine. There's a growing awareness of all of the problems generated by modern medicine and allopathy. But I don't want to just criticize them without offering something new. Here I have the Nelsonian method of medicine. First, we want to reduce or remove the causes of the disease. We want to get people to understand their behaviors, get them to accept responsibility for their bodies, accept responsibilities for their health. I want them to realize that nutrition is a nutrient. I want them to realize that there are many nutrients and that nutrition is definitely part of their health care. Another nutrient is love, respect, intellectual stimulation. These are also nutrients. There's a whole host of different things that we have to look at in treating and reducing the causes of the different diseases. I often like to see this as finding the nail in the tire if you have a flat tire. But just finding the nail does not fix the tire. Now in step 2, we want to restore health to the damaged organs, just like we want to repair our flat tire. Now most of modern medicine does nothing for restoring health to patients. But we want to develop a science of restoring health to the damaged organs through nutrition, acupuncture, chiropractic, glandulars, sarcodes, homeopathy. This is a very unique part of our medicine. Third, we want to unblock the blockages of flow. We want to recognize that blockages of circulation, breathing, oxygen transport, blockages of detox, because we are meant as human beings to take in nutrition and to excrete all the toxins that are in our body, to have a detox mechanism. We have blockages of mental flow of ideas, because we need to be able to take our ideas, our love, respect, our intellectual stimulation, and that needs to flow easily too, in and out. We need to respect the energy flow of the qi and recognize that acupuncture is a finely tuned system of medicine existing for thousands of years. The energy flow of the prana is also important. The energy flow of the nerval stimulation, chiropractic. There are entire forms of medicine that just deal with unleashing the different blockages the chiropractic, the osteopathic, the acupuncturist. We want to be able to treat symptoms naturally. Number 4, we want to be able to get to the patient and understand that his symptoms are important. We want to release them. But we do not want to use synthetics. And I spell synthetics with an S-I-N. To use a synthetic anything is an insult to the body. So we want to treat their symptoms and treat them naturally. And I've done this for years and years, over 25 years of my life. Been able to use homeopathy, nutrition, glandulars, natural vaccinations, and a host of other natural compounds which are compatible with the human body. Because we care about the symptoms. They're not primary. They're part of our system of medicine. But we also want to do it all naturally, not synthetically. Number 5, we want to deal with the constitutionals, the metabolic typing. We want to adapt to the individual needs. We want to recognize the individuality of each and every patient. In homeopathy, we talk about the constitutionals. In nutrition, metabolic typing, blood typing, etc. And these are specific to different diets, nutrition, meditations, etc. So here we have the Nelsonian method, a new type of medicine designed for a holistic approach to our patients.
Steps: humility, compassion, prayer, laughter, love. These are the best medicines. Lifestyle behavior, this is the start. Let food be thy medicine. Eat natural. Joy, celebration for life. A synthetic anything is an insult to the body. Remove addiction and dependency. Use them as little as possible. And natural medicines can heal and detox, and they can provide the way for us to understand. And laughter sometimes really, truly is the best medicine. And there is a healing force deep within. A healing force that can be shared, that can be touched. It is wrong to ignore this. It is not just the savor of the words. There is an energy of the electrons in the body and the life force, the chi, the prana, whatever you call it. We must embody this in our new medicine. We must realize that allopathy and crisis care are 4 ways to do medicine. Stress reduction, exercise, early detection is the way. Symptoms are not the enemy, they are our guide. We are beings of body, mind, spirit, social, environmental. We need to practice holistic medicine. We need to recognize not to break down or reduce things into their simple components. We need to be able to recognize that there is a holism, a productive, complex fractal of the person. And that some people will sacrifice their life for others. And the final lesson that we all need to know is that people do die. They will die. They will say goodbye. This is the final lesson that we all need to recognize as a healer. Yes, we've called it the butterfly machine or the butterfly technique. Now I've taught you a little bit more about how to become a healer and the Nelson method of disease care. To get started, get a mentor, get into the courses at the International Medical University of Natural Education.